Richard Wiles, known professionally as Calvin Harris, is a Scottish record producer, singer, songwriter and DJ. His debut studio album, I Created Disco, was released in 2007 and was the precursor to his UK top 10 singles, Acceptable in the 80s, and The Girls. In 2009, Harris released his second studio album, Ready for the Weekend, which debuted at number 1 on the UK Albums Chart and earned a gold certification from the British Phonographic Industry within 2 months of release. Its lead single, I'm Not Alone, became his first number 1 on the UK Singles Chart. Harris rose to international prominence in 2012 with the release of his third studio album, 18 Months, topping the UK charts. The album became his first to chart on the Billboard 200 in the US, reaching number 19. All 8 of the album's singles, Bounce, Feel So Close, Let's Go, We'll Be Coming Back, Sweet Nothing, Drinking from the Bottle, I Need Your Love, and Thinking About You, reached the top 10 in the UK. Harris has collaborated with numerous other recording artists. His collaboration with Rihanna led to 3 singles, Where Have You Been, This Is What You Came For, and We Found Love. The latter became an international success, giving Harris his first US number 1 single on the Billboard Hot 100. Harris released his fourth studio album, Motion, in November 2014. It debuted at number 2 in the UK and number 5 in the US, and became Harris' second consecutive number 1 album on the Dance Electronic Albums Chart. The album's first 3 singles, Under Control, Summer and Blame, all topped the UK chart. Harris holds the record for the most top 10 songs from one studio album on the UK Singles Chart with 9 top 10 entries, surpassing Michael Jackson. In October 2014, he became the first artist to place 3 songs simultaneously on the top 10 of Billboard's Dance Electronic Songs chart. He also became the first British solo artist to reach more than 1 billion streams on Spotify. Harris has received 10 Brit Award nominations, 3 for Best British Male, and 4 Grammy nominations, winning a Grammy for Best Music Video in 2013. He received the British Academy's Ivor Novello Award for Songwriter of the Year in 2013 and at the 2015 Billboard Music Awards was named Top Dance Electronic Artist. Additionally, Harris topped Forbes' list of the world's highest-paid DJs for 3 consecutive years from 2013 to 2015. Harris also runs his own record label, Fly Eye Records. Early life and career. Richard Wiles was born on the 17th of January 1984 in Dumfries, Scotland. His parents, David Wiles, a biochemist, and Pamela, a homemaker, married in Oxford before moving to the Dumfries suburb, Georgetown. He has an older sister, Sophie, and an older brother, Edward. He attended Dumfries High School, and after leaving school he stacked shelves in supermarkets and worked in a local fish processing factory in order to buy DJ gear. He was first attracted to electronic music in his teens and began recording bedroom demos by 1999. When Harris was 18 he released 2 songs, Da, Bongos and Brighter Days. Both were released as 12-inch club singles and CD EPs by the label Prima Facie in early 2002 under the name Stufa. With these singles to his credit, Harris moved from Scotland to London, hoping to learn from the local music scene. Only one of his songs was released during his time in London, Let Me Know, with vocalist Ayomara on the Unabomber's 2004 live mix CD Electric Soul. Soul, Volume 2. With the lack of job opportunities and money, Harris returned home to Dumfries and began posting homemade solo recordings to his MySpace page. Harris's popularity on the social media website created internet attention that prompted Mark Gillespie, a talent booker for the dance festival from Global Gathering, who had recently founded his own management firm, to make Harris the company's first signing. Music career, 2006 to 08 career beginnings. And I created disco. Harris signed contracts with 360 Group, EMI and Sony BMG in 2006 after he had been discovered on the social networking website MySpace. Later in 2006, Harris produced a remix of All Saints' single, Rocksteady. Harris's debut album, I Created Disco, was released in June 2007. He started working on the album in 2006 after he moved back from living in London to his hometown of Dumfries, Scotland. All 14 tracks were written, produced and performed solely by Harris, and all recording and producing for the album took place on an Amiga computer. To promote I Created Disco, Harris embarked on a tour of the UK, supporting Faithless and Groove Armada. I Created Disco was certified gold by the British Phonographic Industry. It reached number 8 on the UK Albums Chart and number 19 on the US Top Electronic Albums. The album contained up-tempo electro-clash songs that were influenced by music from the 1980s. The song, Vegas, was issued on limited edition vinyl. The first wide-release single from the album was released in March 2007. Acceptable in the 80s, a tribute to the style and culture of the decade, reached number 10 on the UK Singles Chart, remaining on the chart for 15 weeks. The Girls, the album's second single, peaked at number 3 in the UK Singles Chart and at number 4 in the Scotland chart. The third and final release from the album, Merry Making at My Place, only reached number 43. The same year, Harris caught the attention of Australian pop singer Kylie Minogue after his recordings had been passed on to her by another record producer. This led to him co-writing and producing 2 songs on her 2007 album X, Heartbeat Rock, and In My Arms, the latter a top 10 single in the UK. Harris said that working with Minogue was surreal but fun, although he admitted to Mixmag in 2007 to needing a few drinks before meeting her. Harris also contributed the song Off and Amp on to Roisin Murphy's album Overpowered, but it was cut from the album. Harris would later give the song to Sophie Ellis-Bextor to record for her 2011 album Make a Scene. In 2007, Harris produced a remix of the second single, 4th of July, from Kelly's album Flesh Tone. In 2008, Harris collaborated with rapper Dizzy Rascal on his single, Dance Wiv Me, producing the track and singing the hook. The single reached number 1 in the UK and has been certified platinum by the BPI, selling 600,000 copies. It was shortlisted for the 2008 Pop Justice £20 Music Prize and, in 2009, received a Brit Award nomination for British Single and an Ivor Novello Award nomination for Best Contemporary Song. On the 18th of October 2008, Harris was featured on BBC Radio 1's Essential Mix with a 2-hour set. 2008 to 10. Ready for the Weekend. Harris' second album, Ready for the Weekend, was released in August 2009 and debuted at number 1 on the UK Albums Chart, eventually being certified gold by the BPI within 2 months of release. 11 of the 14 tracks included in the album were sung, produced and written solely by Harris. I'm Not Alone, released as the album's lead single in April 2009, debuted at number 1 on the UK Singles Chart. The follow-up single, Ready for the Weekend, reached number 3. The third single from Ready for the Weekend, Flashback, featuring Jordanian singer Ayomara, reached number 18 in the UK. During promotion of the album, Harris hosted a series of videos on YouTube titled Jam TV, in which musicians such as Florence Welch, Goldie and Katy Perry tried to open pots of jam. At the 2010 Brit Awards, Harris received a nomination for Best British Male. On the 8th of February 2010, You Used to Hold Me was released as the fourth and final single from the album. It reached number 27 on the UK singles chart. The song marked the last time Harris regularly sang on his records. He opted to focus more on music production while having guest singers provide the vocals for him. The same year, shortly after his Ready for the Weekend tour wrapped, Harris parted ways with members of his band in which he served as lead vocalist and made the decision to stop doing live shows. In an interview with Billboard, Harris said, "I thought I'd exhausted every avenue and it takes a long time to make me sound good, which is why I stopped singing live as well. I'd like to think of someone who's better looking, a better singer, better dancer to be the front person for the song." Quote. He also released several remixes, including remixes of Shakira's She Wolf, Katy Perry's Waking Up in Vegas, Mr. Hudson's Supernova, and Mika's We Are Golden. Harris also produced Dizzy Rascal's next single titled Holiday, which reached number 1 on the UK singles chart. Harris made a guest appearance as vocalist on Tiesto's song Century on the Dutch producer's album Kaleidoscope. Harris also produced and mixed the English duo The Ting Tings' single Hands, which was released on the 18th of August 2010. The song was originally set to become the first single of the second studio album, but the duo ultimately cancelled the album plans and the song was added as a bonus track on the deluxe edition of Sounds from Nowheresville. On the 14th of November, Harris invaded the stage of the UK's The X Factor during a performance by Irish duo Jedward, holding a pineapple on his head. He later apologized on Twitter. Harris claimed that Chris Brown's Year 3X, released in October 2010, plagiarized his 2009 single I'm Not Alone. After considering similarities between the two songs, Harris was subsequently added to the songwriting credits on the single and the F.A.M.E. album. Harris also featured on Kylie Minogue's 11th studio album Aphrodite, collaborating on a disco and synth-pop track titled Too Much. In July 2010, Harris released a mix titled L.E.D. Festival 2011 to 13, 18 months and international prominence in 2011. Harris toured with Rihanna as a support act on the European leg of her Loud tour. Rihanna was quoted to say that Calvin is the perfect fit for the Loud tour. He is going to bring something unique and fun for the fans. Harris played the 2011 Mardi Gras party in Sydney on the 5th of March. Harris also featured on LMFAO's album Sorry for Party Rocking, appearing on the track Reminds Me of You, which is based on Harris's own song, Awooga. Harris produced Inchi Strider's second single off the record from his fourth studio album, Full Tang. The track had its premiere on the 15th of September 2011, and was released in the UK on the 6th of November 2011. Harris released the single Bounce, a collaboration with Khalees that debuted at number 2 on the UK singles chart in June 2011. Another single, Feel So Close, was released in August 2011 and also reached number 2 in the United Kingdom. Feel So Close became Harris's first solo entry on the Billboard Hot 100 in the US, peaking at number 12. Harris performed at the 2011 Jingle Bell Ball concert, and was announced as one of the headline acts at a number of Southern Hemisphere 2011-2012 New Year music festivals. Wiles. Following a stint as her support act on the Australian leg of her tour, Harris produced We Found Love and Where Have You Been for Barbadian singer Rihanna. The former was included on Harris's upcoming album 18 Months, and premiered on Capital FM radio in the UK on the 22nd of September 2011. We Found Love topped the charts in 27 countries worldwide, including the UK, where it became Harris's third UK number one, peaked in the top 10 in 30 countries, and broke many records worldwide, topping the Billboard Hot 100 for 10 non-consecutive weeks. It was Harris's first US number one, and was also Rihanna's longest-running US number one and the longest-running number one of 2011. We Found Love was later ranked number 24 on the list of the all-time top 100 songs on the Billboard Hot 100. In an interview for Q magazine, Harris said of the lyric, "We found love in a hopeless place. It could have been Jumpin' Jacks in Dumfries. I don't know exactly what I was thinking about." Quote, in 2013, We Found Love was placed at number 3 on Billboard's Top 10 Dance Pop Collaborations of All Time. Harris co-wrote and co-produced the bonus track One Life for R&B singer Mary J. Blige's album My Life too. The journey continues. He also worked with the pop band Scissor Sisters on the single Only the Horses from the fourth studio album, Magic Hour. He wrote and produced Cheryl Cole's single, Call My Name, the lead single from her third album A Million Lights. Harris also produced a remix of Florence and the Machine's Spectrum, titled Spectrum. The song was released as the album's fifth single on the 5th of July 2012. It was serviced radio in the UK on the 2nd of July 2012. It became the group's first single to peak at number 1 on the UK singles chart. Let's Go, featuring Neo, released in April 2012, also reached number 2 in the UK singles chart. It was his second US Billboard Hot 100 appearance as a main artist, charting at number 17. The song received a nomination for Best Dance Recording at the 55th Grammy Awards, which was held in February 2013. The album's fourth single, We'll Be Coming Back, was released in July 2012. Featuring rapper Example, it peaked at number 2 in the UK. The fifth single, Sweet Nothing, features Florence Welch of Florence and the Machine, and was released on the 14th of October 2012. It peaked at number 1 on the UK singles chart and at number 10 on the US Billboard Hot 100. The song received a nomination for Best Dance Recording at the 56th Grammy Awards. These singles became part of his third studio album, 18 Months, which was released on the 29th of October 2012. Harris eventually made UK chart history by becoming the first artist to attain 8 top 10 singles from one studio album, breaking the record previously set by Michael Jackson. 18 Months received a nomination for Best Dance Electronica Album at the 56th Grammy Awards. Harris was also nominated for Best British Male Solo Artist at the 2013 Brit Awards in February. Harris was the house DJ at the 2012 MTV Video Music Awards held at the Staples Center, Los Angeles, where he won Best Electronic Video for Feel So Close and Video of the Year alongside Rihanna for We Found Love. Harris performed as part of the post-race concert of the 2013 Formula One Bahrain Grand Prix in April 2013. At the 2013 Ivor Novello Awards held at the Grosvenor House Hotel, London in May, Harris received the British Academy's Ivor Novello Award for Songwriter of the Year, with Harris calling it easily the greatest achievement of my entire life. 2013-15, Motion on the 7th of October 2013. Harris and Swedish DJ.His released a collaborative single with synthpop duo Hertz called Under Control as the first single from his fourth album. The song debuted at #1 in the UK. Later that month, Harris remixed the Killer's song When You Were Young for the deluxe edition of the Greatest Hits album Direct Hits. He unveiled the full 6-minute version through Rolling Stone and told the magazine, "It was a real honor to be asked to remix one of my favorite modern bands, and it was an exciting challenge for me to update this classic track for the dance floor in a tasteful and respectful way." On the 14th of March 2014, Harris' song Summer premiered on the UK's Capital FM. The track, which was released as the album's second single, debuted at #1 on the UK Singles Chart, becoming Harris' sixth UK #1 single. It also became Harris's highest-charting solo single on the US Billboard Hot 100, peaking at #7. Summer was Spotify's most streamed track of 2014 with over 200 million streams. Harris also wrote and produced the single I Will Never Let You Down for British singer Rita Ora. On the 18th of May 2014, the song debuted at #1 on the UK Singles Chart, 2 weeks after his song Summer debuted at the top of the charts. In April 2014, Harris performed on the main stage of Coachella Festival. His set attracted the second-largest crowd in the festival's history, topped only by the 2012 set of Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg, which featured a hologram of Tupac Shakur. That year, Harris was also a headlined act at several prominent music festivals, including Lollapalooza, Austin City Limits Music Festival, the iTunes Festival in London, Electric Daisy Carnival and the iHeartRadio Music Festival. The third single was Harris' collaboration with vocalist John Newman, which was titled Blame. It was released in September 2014 to positive reviews from music critics and debuted at #1 on the UK Singles Chart, giving Harris his third consecutive UK #1 single. After the release of the song, Harris became the first British solo artist to reach more than 1 billion streams on Spotify. Later that month, Harris uploaded an instrumental track called See You Be It to SoundCloud. Outside, the fourth single from the album, featuring Ellie Goulding, was released in October 2014. It marked the second collaboration between Harris and Goulding, following the internationally successful single I Need Your Love from 2013. The instrumental track, Slow Acid, was released as a promotional single from the album on the 14th of October 2014. His fourth album, Motion, was released on the 4th of November 2014. It includes the previously released singles Under Control, Summer, Blame, and Outside. Another track from the album, Pray to God, featuring rock band trio Haim, was released on the 11th of February 2015. At the 2015 Brit Awards, Summer was nominated for Best British Single and British Artist Video of the Year. At the 2015 Glamour Awards in London on the 2nd of June, Harris was named Glamour UK's Man of the Year. He was also ranked 6th on Billboard's Top 30 EDM Power Players. The same month, Harris was part of the main staged lineup at the Electric Daisy Carnival held in Las Vegas. 2015 present. New music. On the 17th of July 2015, Harris and London-based production trio Disciples released the single How Deep Is Your Love. The song peaked at #2 on the UK Singles Chart, giving Harris his 19th top 10 entry in the UK. It peaked at #1 on the ARIA charts, giving Harris his first chart topper in Australia. The song peaked at #3 on the Hot Dance Electronic Songs in the US and marked Harris's 8th top 10 entry since the chart's launch, making making it the most of any act. In September, Harris was featured on Dylan Francis's EP This Mixtape Is Fire, collaborating on a Moonbaton-style track entitled What's Your Name. For the 2016 Brit Awards, Harris received 3 nominations: Best British Male Solo Artist, and How Deep Is Your Love for British Single of the Year and Best British Video. Harris released a new single titled This Is What You Came For, which features Rihanna, on the 29th of April 2016. On the 24th of June 2016, Harris released a collaboration with Dizzy Rascal titled Hi. 2 weeks later, on the 8th of July 2016, John Newman released the track Olé, which was produced by Harris. Endorsements. In 2008, the cover of Harris's debut album I Created Disco was featured as part of a multicolored iPod Nano campaign on TV and in print in the US. In 2009, Harris teamed up with Coca-Cola for their Open Happiness Is advertising campaign in the UK. Harris wrote and produced an exclusive track for the brand called Yeah 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 La La La, which was featured on TV, digital, outdoor and on-pack promotional activity, and was offered on Coke's own website for free download. The same year, Harris' song Colors was featured in Kia Motors' Hamster television advertisement for the Kia Soul app. In 2012, Harris was featured in the Pepsi Max commercial for the football campaign, titled Crowd Surfing. The advert showed Harris on the DJ deck playing his single, Let's Go, to the crowd of partygoers alongside star footballers Lionel Messi, Didier Drogba, Fernando Torres, Frank Lampard, Sergio Aguero and Jack Wilshere. In 2013, Harris teamed up with Soul Republic to create the first studio-tuned professional caliber headphones. The partnership involved designing a customized look for the headphones and redesigning its drivers to Harris's specifications. On the 17th of December 2014, Harris was announced as the new face of Emporio Armani for its men's underwear line for the spring-summer 2015 season. He was also named the worldwide testimonial of the Emporio Armani eyewear and watch collection. The black and white campaign was shot in Los Angeles by photographer Boo George. Harris returned as the face of the brand underwear line, eyewear and watch line for their Emporio Armani Fall/Winter 2015-2016 campaign. The images, shot by Lachlan Bailey, were released in July 2015. Other ventures. In March 2010, Harris launched his own vanity label, Fly Eye Records. Most of the label's releases belong to the EDM genre. In 2014, the label formed a partnership with Sony ATV Music Publishing. Later that year, Harris was appointed as the head of the artists and repertoire team at the dance label Deconstruction Records. In early 2012, Harris signed an exclusive DJ residency deal with Wynn Las Vegas, which included gigs at 3 of the luxury resorts Avenues, Encore Beach Club, Surrender and Excess Nightclub. In February 2013, Harris signed as the first exclusive resident DJ with the Abu Dhabi-owned hospitality company Hakkasan Group in Las Vegas. The 20-month residency saw him playing 46 dates at MGM Grand's Hakkasan nightclub, as well as 22 additional gigs at the MGM Grand's Wet Republic. In January 2015, he extended his partnership with the Hakkasan Group for 3 more years, which includes residencies at 3 of the group's Las Vegas venues. Harris also serves as the group's music consultant for its restaurants, nightclubs and hotels globally. On the 30th of March 2015, Harris was announced as a co-owner, along with various other music artists, in the music streaming service Tidal. The service specializes in lossless audio and high-definition music videos. Rapper Jay-Z acquired the parent company of Tidal, Aspro, in the first quarter of 2015. including Beyoncé and Jay-Z. 16 artist stakeholders co-own Tidal, with the majority owning a 3% equity stake. The idea of having an all-artist-owned streaming service was created by those involved to adapt to the increased demand for streaming within the current music industry, and to rival other streaming services such as Spotify, which have been criticized for the low payout of royalties. Philanthropy. In September 2007, Harris performed in the charity event Wasted Youth, in aid of the campaign against living miserably at Coco nightclub in Camden Town, London. The event aimed to draw attention to the issue of youth suicide among men in the UK and to raise awareness and money for the charity. In 2008, he supported Shelter's campaign, Home Time Scotland, which pledges to end homelessness and bad housing in Scotland. In 2010, Harris performed live in the War Child's Post-Brit Awards show, which took place at the Shepherd's Bush Empire, London. The event raised funds and public awareness on children affected by violence in war zones. In February 2012, Harris teamed up with several other artists to perform at a charity concert, with all proceeds from the show going to the Children's Orthopedic Center at the Children's Hospital, Los Angeles. In November 2012, Harris contributed several songs to Tiesto's compilation album Dance Save Lives in collaboration with anti-AIDS charity Product Red, which was aimed at creating awareness on the fight for an AIDS-free generation. Harris participated in a global live stream of the Stereosonic Music Festival in Melbourne, Australia, which took place on World AIDS Day on the 1st of December 2012. The proceeds from both the album and the event were donated for the cause.